In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the entrepreneur creation cycle. Now, the key reason why I want to do this is because this entire blockchain entrepreneurship program consists of two separate tracks which are running in parallel. One of them is the entrepreneur track, which is essentially how do you become an entrepreneur and how do you achieve the greatest levels of success as an entrepreneur. Best practices, mindset, what are the things you need to do to be a successful entrepreneur? And in parallel, we will be having a track that's blockchain focused. So in this program, you're going to be focusing both on entrepreneurship and blockchain. Now, to set the foundation for the entrepreneurship program, I want to be very, very clear with you on what it entails to be an entrepreneur and the type of mindset and process that you should have if you are an entrepreneur. To do that, I'm actually going to prepare a very simple 3-step framework. Now, notice I said simple. I didn't say easy. Simple because it's a very clear-cut, straightforward way to address entrepreneurship. And I will do my absolute best as we go through these lessons for you to understand that. Remember also that I'm here for you if you have any questions. Now, what I want to point out to you is that this 3-step process is actually very, very easy to understand. And it consists of number 1, create. Number 2 is launch. And number 3 is grow. It really is that simple. Let me explain to you somewhat what each one of these entail. In the create portion, what we're going to be talking about is the ideation among many things. Let's come up with an idea. What kind of business are we building? And there are many, many strategies to help you do that. I will also be talking to you about the different types of entrepreneurs. Now, you may be thinking that because this is a blockchain entrepreneurship program, it's just going to be about being a technology entrepreneur. Well, the key thing is that being an entrepreneur has many different phases, and there are different types of entrepreneurs. So I will be speaking to you about the different types of entrepreneurs so that you can have that information and apply it to your own specific case. From there, I'll talk about best practices for success. Being an entrepreneur is not as easy as many people think. In fact, there's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of grit, and there's a lot of challenges to it. I will be talking about some best practices to actually help you achieve. And all of this will be part of the create phase. From there, we will go into the launch phase. Now, the launch phase is all about going live. If you're an entrepreneur, this is what you want to get to. If you don't go live or launch your product, you really don't have anything. You've just put together some ideas and you really don't have a business. The launch phase will talk about how do you go live with your business so that you actually have a true business that's operating. One of the most common phrases that you hear when you're dealing with entrepreneurs is nothing happens until someone makes a sale. This is the part I want you to keep in mind. Until you go live, you really don't have anything. You just have plans. We're going to talk about areas of importance, and we're going to talk about best practices for success once you are live. All of this will be the section of launch. From there, we will go into the grow phase because you need to keep your business growing. Once a business is launched, it's not be all end all. It's not like you're automatically successful. You have to keep that business alive. Furthermore, you have to address competition. If you're in a space where you actually have success, there will be competitors, and you need to know how to handle those competitors. All of those will be areas we'll be talking about when we talk about growing. We will also talk about exit strategies. When you're talking about entrepreneurship, I don't want you to think about a job that you're creating for yourself. Some people get this wrong. If you create a business that is just all about freelancing, you basically just bought yourself a job. What you want to create is a business or an entity that will live above and beyond just you. That is, without you, the company still keeps going. Take as a perfect example, Apple. Steve Jobs is not around. Take a company like Microsoft. Bill Gates is not at the top of Microsoft, and yet both companies are doing quite well. So these are all of the key areas that we will be talking about when we are talking about the entrepreneur creation cycle. And as I mentioned, it is a 3-step process: create, launch, and grow. In this module, we will focus primarily in the create phase.